recording!
Oh,
We're live!
We're doomed.
And we're doomed?
I don't know.
Oh no! Hey
just-
everybody! I don't know if anyone will be able to pop in tonight, but even if you're not able to join us live, you can come and talk to us later in the comments section below. If you didn't know, I'm the Madhat Cat, and I'm here today for the first installment of what I'm calling the Parlour Parley with my friend David Nesbit. And in this series, I invite practicing artists of all sorts and art lovers into my parlor, and we have a chat over fermented plant water, which means wine, whiskey, or tea, or coffee. Coffee is also a plant. Except neither of those things are true today because I have no proper lighting in my parlor currently, so we're doing it in the game room instead. Live from the game room, oh my god. And we're not having fermented plant water. Dave is having bubble water, and I'm having a cocoa peanut butter smoothie. But to give you an idea of what the parlor kind of feel will look like, I have picked an item. This is, I think, a whiskey bottle. I don't remember what brand of whiskey it is. I looked it up once. Like I did a Google goggles image search kind of thing. And Dave picked this guy, which is a secret hidey hole. I'm pretty sure it was meant to be an ashtray. Someone's in. I think it was media. Did I see media? Is that who it was? Who's in? I'm gonna see. Can I see? Can I look at comments? Yeah, it's media! I'm going to put live chat on Hello Cat and Nesbit, says media.
Greetings.
Greetings. So, now that we've got kind of the introduction out of the way, like I said, this is the first of what's going to be many different videos where I interview local artists and art lovers, because you know me, I love all the things and I want to talk to other people about the things that they love. And in these interviews, we will discuss art of the past, art that's happening right now, and art of the future.
Ooh, scary stuff.
Yes. So, if you can... Are you in? I guess you're in frame.
I'm in frame, as far as I can tell.
And, media, since you're online for us here, if you could tell us if we need to speak up at all, that would be fantastic. I would thank you kindly very much. Thank you. Yes, yes. So Dave, what is it that you do? What is it that you do?
Well, when I'm doing the art thing, it's a combination.
Already I'm going to say speak up, because
Okay.
I can barely hear you.
I do that a lot.
Project from
to
the diaphragm.
When I'm doing the art thing, it is either writing or photography, videography. I like to say that I'm an alleged musician. I work with my dear friend Dave.
Alleged musician.
Alleged musician, because we're in an industrial band and we can't own up to being musicians if we're industrial.
What's wrong with industrial?
No, it's.
I love industrial.
But the first, the band that actually coined the term industrial.
Oh, everybody hates them now.
Yeah, everybody hates them now, but
Damn it.
their concept was everybody grab the instrument that you're least comfortable with and give it a try.
Oh.
And
I get it.
And they kind of turned into a thing, and I just keep saying that I keep playing around with synthesizers because I can sit there, press a couple of buttons, get the arpeggiator or the sequencer going, and the keyboard will make me look like I'm a freaking musical genius.
I just press like 3 buttons and it's.
Well, we were watching
amazing.
a Talking Heads video, and they had their touring keyboard players, Bernie Worrell from Parliament Funkadelic. And Bernie was an amazing player. I think he passed recently. But somebody literally said, wait a minute, he's actually playing the arpeggios? That's awesome!
Brilliant. All right, well, where do you originally come from? Where do you hail from? Did you ever learn that dreams don't come true? And then share with us a favorite childhood memory. Just one.
Just one.
I can do a later series called Dave's Childhood Memories, best of.
Well, I've been doing a lot of that on stage, so that'll be fairly entertaining.
Oh, by the way...
Spoken word performer as well.
Yes, spoken word performer. That's actually how... well, I don't know if it's how I know you, but it was one of the places that we started hanging out first.
Yes,
like
where we really
on
met
an
with regularity.
Yes, met with regularity. Do you mind if I share?
Sure.
Real quick, before you share all this, I'll re-ask the
Go
questions again. Samurai of the Spoken Word is... I've always called it stand-up storytelling spoken word group.
Yeah.
Because it combines elements of stand-up storytelling and spoken word. and it's all local people, with the exception, I think, maybe every now and again someone who's out of town who used to be here will come in and do a special appearance. And 3 years ago, I think, I became an official samurai, and it's been a long while since I performed because I was focusing on finishing the undergraduate degree. But
you're being a good student and shit.
Well, I'm a good student. Just trying to graduate. Trying to graduate. I think we've got a show coming up next month. Details are still being worked out.
Actually, we finalized it. It's
we did.
October 29th at the Sydney in Benson.
Okay. Well, I know none of you guys that are here right now are in Omaha, but if everyone's okay with it, I'll do what I did that one time, and I'll live stream the Samurai of the Spoken Word, and you guys can watch. And if you wanted to, we always take donations for a particular cause. I believe
this one is going to be, I can't remember the exact group, but I know that it's going to be something about
it's survivors of domestic abuse. Yeah. So that's who we're donating to for the October show. And maybe I'll find a way to make a PayPal button so that we can collect donations online as well. And then we can put the link on Facebook for our Omaha people who aren't able to attend the show in person, but they can still see it.
Yep.
And they could donate to the good cause. Someone else has joined the room. I don't know who it is. If there. See, now I can see chat again.
Oh, hey.
Sound is great. Thank you, Media. Media is just a little south in Kansas City. Well, if you feel like coming up to Omaha on October 29th, I mean, that's one way to spend your Halloween weekend. Or I guess it's maybe probably in the middle of the week.
Yeah, it's actually the Halloween, I think, is on Wednesday, so that puts the show on Monday.
Yeah. I will still probably dress up as a mummy, even though it's not quite Halloween, because that'll be right after my surgeries. And so, just for fun, I will, since I'll be in post-surgical garments anyway, I'll just wrap myself up in toilet paper and be a mummy for that day. So, after that, kind of unplanned plug for Samurai of the Spoken Word. Hey, Xerxes is in. Hey, Xerxes, thanks for joining us tonight. By the way, this is Dave Nesbit, good friend of mine. We're doing artist interviews. I'm calling the series Parlour Parley, even though we are in the game room today. Thank you for joining us. Now, those questions again, before I so rudely interrupted you. Where do you originally hail from? Did you ever learn that dreams don't come true? And share with us a favorite childhood memory.
Where I'm originally from is, I jokingly call all over the Great White North. I was born at Great Lakes Naval Training Center. We moved up to a town called Kenosha, Wisconsin, which is right on what, if anybody is in Illinois or Wisconsin, will understand when I call it the DMZ. It's not the state border. And then I also alternately spent time living in various parts of Canada, or, because half of my family lives up there. And then eventually I kind of wandered down this way, and it worked out fairly well. So I decided to stay. Did I ever learn that dreams don't come true? Depends upon the dream. That dream I have of flying would probably not go very well unless I brought a parachute with me, so I'm not going to try that one.
And when you say flying, you mean without aid of any kind of aeroplane?
Yes.
Just on your own?
Just on my own.
Okay.
That one's probably... But I have a whole host of other dreams that I'm still in the process of trying to make happen, because that's how I manage to keep myself from losing my mind. And then, of course, there was that one with the Asian twins. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but you can always hope,
Yeah, no, I have that same dream.
Yeah. And then, with that in mind, you just kind of sit there and go, it's in the back of your head. It'll stay there for a while, but it's always that thing you can reach for that you may never get. And one favorite childhood memory, when I was 12 years old, my dad took a friend of mine and I up to Green Bay, Wisconsin. And he always timed this trip perfectly for the opening of Green Bay Packer training camp.
Which I understand is a American football team.
They're very much a sports ball team, yes. It was 1980, 1981.
Okay.
And we were wandering around the outside of the hotel, and literally the starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers drives up with one of the other players, and they were going to be staying at the hotel until they found an apartment for the whole season.
Right.
So we immediately freak out because, starting players, that. And we're like, hi, can we help you move stuff in? So now we know where their room is. And so we totally freaking out. We walk over back to the hotel and go, Dad, we just met, these guys, and oh my God.
Did he believe you?
Actually, yes, he did.
Okay, good.
Because he said, hey, I'm going to be ordering pizza for you guys while I'm out doing business. Why don't you invite, and the gentleman's name was Lynn Dickey. Why don't you invite Lynn over to have pizza? And I'm like, he's the starting quarterback for Green Bay. I don't think he wants to talk to a teenager, or talk to a pre-teenager.
He will if you have pizza.
Yeah, good point. We did have pizza. So he said, what's my dad, and this is a lesson I learned and kind of kept at heart ever since then, was what's the worst thing that'll happen? It's not like he's going to kick your ass. He'll just say no. And we went, valid point. So we walked over there, knocked on the door, and we were like, hi, sir. We're going to have pizza. Would you like to come and join us? And he said yes. So it was totally like that Saturday night.
And so it came to pass.
Yeah. It was like that Saturday Night Live bit where Chris Farley is interviewing Paul McCartney, and he's so starstruck that he can barely keep a word out. And we're like totally two 12-year-olds sitting there looking at the starting quarterback for our favorite team. Like, dude, how did you get to be so awesome? It was absolutely that moment. But that's always been the lesson I took from that is sometimes take the chance. The worst thing that's going to happen is somebody will say no. That you're not out anything for trying it.
Good advice, kids. What's the worst that can happen? They can always say no.
Yep.
And as long as you respect that no, everything will be
okay.
fine.
Yes.
Everything will be fine. Well, that was a delightful childhood memory, and I really enjoyed that. When did you know that you wanted the arts and various attached things to be a major part of your life? If you do consider it a major part of your life.
I consider it pretty much the part of my life that's the thing that defines me, so that's kind of a key part.
Same.
I knew that I wanted music to be a major part of my life. Actually, the funny part is, on another trip to Green Bay.
Green Bay, it's the home of where dreams are born.
Yeah.
Little known fact.
I saw the hotel we were staying at. On one side, there's Lambeau Field, and then on the other side, there's the Brown County Arena, which is the local sports, music, etc. venue. And again, killing time. Dad was going on business, and Ozzy Osbourne was playing the Brown County Arena. And this was like his first or second solo tour. But he had this little tiny guitar player with him named Randy Rhoads.
Yeah.
And Randy was still...
Don't ask me how I know about Randy, but I do.
And Randy, was just an awe-inspiring player, and I'd never heard somebody who sounded like that. It was like this mixture of Paganini and Eric Clapton. It was like right down the middle of classical and blues and rock playing. And I'm just standing in the front row going, I have no clue what this guy is doing. I just know I have to do it. So drive back home. My dad had this old Sears Harmony guitar that he had bought when everybody in the early 60s wanted to be Bob Dylan. And I'm like, yep, thanks, Dad. It's mine. And then I just abused the shit out of my fingers for, the rest of the time on really bad strings and very high necks. And then I decided that writing was going to be a key part of my life. I was reading a novel by Robert Anton Wilson, who, if you're not familiar, his Illuminatus trilogy is just sheer genius.
Illuminatus.
You have to get used to the fact that it's a piece of sheer genius in the William Burroughs style, so time will shift randomly and things like that. But the idea that somebody could create this world that pulls me into it in such a manner that it made me feel like reality was changing around me for reading this book. I'm like,
that's what books are for.
Yeah, create a whole new world for yourself. I love my own little worlds. They're absolutely brilliant. People like me there, And so
people like you here too.
And at that point in time, I was chilling out, and I didn't have a whole lot to do, so I just started knocking out short stories.
Yeah.
And now that I'm writing and people see that I'm writing and I have stuff out, they're like, wow, I really wish I could write. I want to take a swing at it. I'm like, well, take a swing at it, but it'll suck. Everybody's first attempt, no matter at any art you do, will suck.
True story.
You just have to learn to withstand the slings and arrows. And the other part is that there's a great filtering mechanism. If you put your work out there and people say, hey, your work sucks, you don't have to listen to them. If somebody says, hey, your work sucks, but here's why, and gives you constructive feedback on it, these are the people you need in your life because they want to help you build a better piece of work.
Well, and presumably they see something in it that doesn't suck, a glimmer of something that intrigues them, and they want more of that, and they would like you to chip away at all of the stuff that is more suckish and get to the good glimmery things.
Yep, and then for performing, I'm gonna plug a good friend of mine.
Do it.
His name is Scott Seidel. Scott is actually right now he's in Augusta, Georgia, and he's the head of the community theater out there. And Scott is the most ridiculously talented human being I know. Dude can play. You go out, you give him an instrument, music, really good music will happen. He's an incredible singer. He's an incredible dancer. Great actor, and he was the theater director at our school. And
So not even a triple threat, like force of nature.
Yeah,
threat.
pretty much. If you hire Scott, you're getting something really interesting.
Very cool.
He also has some great stories about one of his other jobs was after he left working at our school, he managed to talk his way into being the road manager of Aerosmith, and he got some great stories out of that.
Smooth.
But I figured that I would take acting as a easy A course in high school, and Scott made a very simple
That's how it all
rule.
begins.
Yep. If you're in it's kind of like Fight Club. If you're in the acting club, you have to audition. And so I show up and audition for The Music Man.
Mm-hmm.
And and I do my audition, and Scott pulls me aside and says, "Okay, I don't know what your timing is like, but I need you to do the dance audition because if you pull it off, you're getting the second male lead." This is my first time out.
That would have been the
Buddy Hackett character.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been ages since I've seen Music Man,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of times I just go back to all like the background characters,
Yep.
like the
little-
ladies club, the
Yeah.
pick a little, talk a little,
Yep.
and then like the little girl that's I think Marion's little sister,
Yep.
or like her niece.
Yeah, and there was like this little 5-year-old
And she's like,
girl in there
When
who's
am I
totally
gonna
stole the
find my
show.
someone? Pigtails, early 20th century. Aw, gee.
Yep. And so the timing couldn't work out at that point in time for me to make the dance rehearsal, so I didn't get the second male lead, but I still
Okay.
got it. My first time out, though, I got an actual
still,
speaking
though,
part. You know, it was a
just-
really great compliment.
Just having him, pull you aside and ask you that's always like a really nice thing when someone pulls you aside and is like, "Hey, I don't know what's going on with
Yeah.
you, but like maybe look at this because I think it would be a good thing."
Yeah.
That's always nice.
And sitting there and just watch. And there are two people in my life who I kind of think of as my respective Ferris Buellers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that person who it just works out for them, and
Yeah.
they're so cool and so nice about it that
Wait,
you can't
does
dislike
that
them
mean
either.
you're the best friend?
Yeah.
Throws himself
Oh,
into the pool?
Yeah, I was totally Cameron in high school, I'm telling you. I was that classically depressed, wandering around, except Cameron wore better clothes than I did. I was like the heavy metal kid, attending a Catholic school
So
with
just-
an Iron
just
Maiden
ima-
t-shirt
just
with an undershirt
imagine-
over it.
Catholic school, heavy metal Cameron.
Yeah, and that would be me.
This is a great visual, and I want to like make a caricature of this.
I could totally.
Or actually, no, I should ask Molly to do it.
Melancholy drop, by the way. By the way, guys, Molly says hi and she misses you and she hasn't forgotten you and she hopes that you haven't forgotten her.
But she does like really cool portraits. She did one of me that I really loved. That was like a combination of 4 of my hairstyles and with my ukulele, and it like accentuates my larger than appears nose
Mhm.
in a way that I really, really love. But she also has done like celebrity portraits, like old TV stars that she really loves.
Mhm.
Or she did one of Udo Kier that I really love. But I want her to do one of you as a high schooler,
heavy metal Cameron.
heavy metal.
Cameron.
There was an additional adjective that I used though. What was it?
High school heavy metal.
Maybe that's all it
yeah,
was high school heavy metal Cameron.
But
But yeah.
yeah, doing that, and then
Music
I had it, but I lost it. It'll be there in a second. Oh well, we'll come
Wait
back to it.
for it.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
It's around, and then as soon
Yeah.
as you find it, you just go, ha ha!
And then I decided that I wanted to do visual arts. I went back to school. Basically, the lady that I was married to at the time pushed me to go back to college. And, out of a marriage that ended up kind of, falling apart, that is still the best thing that came out of it was that I
Mhm.
actually was able to finish a degree
There
and
you
was
go.
able to help learn.
So
a
you
lot
weren't
of
going
things and
back
meet
to
people.
school for a second degree. You were going back to finish.
Yeah.
Got it.
My first attempt at college, I was not even remotely ready for it.
So
And I was, technically you're an adult when you're 18, but I was nowhere near ready.
Yeah.
So when I went back to school at
Word of
38,
advice,
then I
don't
had
always go to
incentives.
college when you're 18. Not everybody needs it.
Get out, live a life a little bit, and discover what you want to do.
Gap years should be required.
Yeah. So
Even if you're ready.
Yep. So I took a basic photography class,
Mm-hmm.
and a really good friend of mine, by the name of Erin Lang, volunteered to be my first kind of sitting model. Yeah, she's a massage therapist and this and that. She's just kind of an awesome lady all around.
Yeah.
And we sat down and we shot. And I'm one of the parts of this class was you had to shoot on black and white actual film.
Mm-hmm.
So we
So
shot.
like 35 millimeter?
Yep.
Okay.
So we shot like 72 shots of her, and Erin was kind enough to show up with all of these costumes and this and that. And I wound up, and the ratio for really good photographs in a roll of film is like 2 to a roll of film.
That's about the size of it.
And I wound up with like 8 or 9 usable shots out of those, and immediately I just kind of fell in love with the process.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's always that sense of you get a chance to actually create the frame that you see somebody in.
Yeah.
But the other fun part is to find somebody who has never had a good picture of them taken before. And
then seeing the face.
yep, we're like, this is how we actually see you. I know that you've only ever seen candids, but this is what you got.
Candids are not necessarily reality. Was there more to that thought? Did I interrupt again?
Nope. I think we're good. But
All
yeah,
right.
just that was that moment when I went, oh, I can really get into this.
Yes.
And I also jokingly say that I'm really grateful that I started into photography in my late 30s as opposed to my early 20s,
Yeah.
because maturity is a thing.
So true.
Yeah. There's a lot of times when I wound up for about 5 years doing an awful lot of like boudoir or BDSM or this or that style of photography. And I kept having dudes walk up to me going, man, I totally want to be your assistant because you hang out with all these hot chicks. I'm like, you are a lawsuit waiting to happen. No, get out of my face.
GWCs. Bye-bye.
Yeah, take
For
it easy.
those who don't know, GWC stands for Guy with Camera. And he'll ask women or people who they assume to be women like me, gender politics. Well, not politics, gender identity, that was the word I was looking for. They won't ask, like, would you like to shoot sometime? I'm looking to do this type of project, and I think maybe you'd be a good fit for it. It's always, so when are we going to shoot?
I want to punch that guy in the face.
Like, just automatically
Really do.
assuming that not only do you want to shoot with him, please, let me shoot with, let me just take off all the clothes immediately, make me beautiful.
And that's the part.
That's almost not how it goes. And if they do that, you probably don't want to shoot them.
I've sat down and talked to
with
them.
a camera.
Yeah, with a camera. I've talked,
Sorry, bad joke.
I talk with a lot of girls who get invites to do shoots, and I start telling them, here are the rules you have to have with photographers. First of all, before you even do a shoot, meet somewhere public
Mm-hmm.
and have some coffee. Find out if you're dealing with somebody who just gives you that vibe that you don't want to be around.
Yeah.
The other one
Or
is
talk to people that have shot with them.
yeah. The other one is make sure that you're that if you sit there and you're talking to a photographer and you're like, hey, can I have a friend along just to kind of hang out? And they say no, bail.
Bye.
Take it easy.
Bye.
I remember having a photo shoot, first ever photo shoot with this lady, and we were talking outside before the shoot, and she said, oh yeah, I told a friend of mine who's a detective in the Omaha Police Department that I was coming here today, and I was like, good on you. Please take care of yourself.
And that's that you want to hear when you say something like that. Because even if she was lying, your response was the correct one.
Yeah. I'm, I would like to think of myself as being the professional that does not take advantage of people. I'm there to get a great image of somebody and to make a piece of art that we can both sit there and be really happy about.
Both look at it and go, ah.
Yeah. And when we're both sitting there and we're looking at something that we together have made, and we go, yep, that is totally a great piece, and I see them, like, walking into somebody's house and seeing a photo that you shot of them on their wall is absolutely like the best. It's like a standing ovation for a photographer.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever really had anything like that because none of my traditional media art has ever. I did have one person ask if I would make a print of something. I don't know if you remember Red.
Oh yeah.
She asked, do you remember the picture that I drew of like the redhead with like the light blue ribbons in her hair drinking the teacup? You can just see that part of her face. And there's like, you know, murdered nurses in the background. A cup of tea soothes the soul and calms the mind, or something like that. And for some reason, she really, really loved it. And I was like, yeah, I guess I could make a print for you. How much? I don't know. People don't buy stuff from me. So that would be an interesting thing to see someday. Or now, I don't know anyone who's ever actually purchased photos of me, because I haven't done as much of it in the last few years. But I used to do modeling pretty frequently, you know, kind of just my own projects or working with other people that I really liked working with. But I don't know. I'm gonna take a second to catch up on chat, because I see things popping around tonight, and I think maybe I saw Aaron in there. And let's see who's about. And maybe what you should do is, if you go to my YouTube channel, you can share this video, because I think it should show that it's streaming live, and you should share it on Facebook for our local friends to enjoy. All right, let's catch up on the chat, shall we? And I will continue being vaguely English. Yes, it is Aaron. Hello, Aaron. And again, to Xerxes and Media, thank you all so much for joining us. And, all right, so Xerxes is a little bit north and in a different country, so Canada.
Yeah.
Xerxes loves the picture of Cave Johnson.
Yes.
The motion sensor on it is currently turned off because he goes off at random times, but he has, you know, his various catchphrases like, you know, I've been thinking, when life gives you lemons, you say, I don't want your damn lemons. Take the lemons back. Yeah, take the lemons. Oh, I like this guy. I don't know if any of you have played Portal, or Portal 2, rather. Where Gladys gets downloaded into a potato, or no, it's the battery that powers the potato. Or no, other way around. The potato powers the battery, and she has been downloaded into the battery. And you hear all those little things from Cave. I love that too, although I had to turn him off because he just goes off at random times. Media, hashtag my writing is beyond sucks. Well, then keep trying and ask for, you know, reviews. Maybe sometime on the Discord I can like put a little section, like a specific channel that's, here is a link to a Google Doc of something I'm working on right now. Comments are enabled. Come and give, what's the word? Feedback.
Yes.
Feedback. And I believe you can also password protect it, so if you want to put the password in the Discord and, you know, make it private so only channel members can view it, then you can do that. I think that's a good idea. Because I want you all, my giant hand coming into view there. I think that'd be a neat thing for our little community to be doing for each other, is, you know, giving each other feedback on things that we do.
The best advice I ever saw in terms
is
of writing...
Xerxes saying, just keep sucking until you don't. We need a bumper sticker that says that. I'm going to keep that in my brain.
That's actually... Oh, there's a great story that Matt Damon told about his favorite piece of direction ever came when he was shooting Stuck on You. And he walked over to one of the Farrelly brothers and said, do you want more of this? Do you want less of this? What do you want us to do? And the guy looked at him, stopped, thought for a second, and then just went, suck less. And I was like, that's advice, goes. I'm good with this. This totally works.
Good advice. Suck less.
Suck less.
Short, simple, to the point.
Absolutely.
Xerxes mentioned there are always lots of people like that at cons. I don't know. What did we mention about cons? Oh, he's talking about GWC, the guy with cameras. Yes, there are a lot of those guys there. And when I was still going to popular culture conventions, I hope to return to that sometime next year, but I had to stop for a while because it was just too much being invaded by people I needed to not be around. But when I did, there were lots of people who wanted to take pictures of me, and you have to choose carefully.
get the creep factor going on from somebody. It's time to go.
Creep factor. It's not always pervy either. Sometimes it's just rude.
Yeah.
True story. It's polite to ask people, "Hey, can I take a picture of you?" And if they say no, fuck off.
You know, if I'm at an event and if I'm not part of the official event photography, if I see somebody wandering around in a costume, I figure it's just polite to say, I know they're cosplaying, I know they're showing off the costume, but it's still polite to just walk up and go, "Hi, can I take a shot of you?" Because it gives them a chance to pose and gives them a chance to show off the costume in the best way.
Because they know what went into it, and if there's something particular, they could have like a cool gadgety thing that you can't even tell until they be like, "Oh, one like this, and wait, one more time." Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, there was a video I posted a couple of days ago on my Facebook channel of this lady who made this incredible, like, anime-style armor. I'm sure it was for a show, and I can't remember what it was, but the tips of her wings lit up in the most amazing way, and I was just like, if you hadn't asked...
Did you ask her if she made them? I wonder if because
It's not my video, but it's just one that I saw. And
Gotcha.
But I'm like, if you hadn't asked her to pose for you, you might not have gotten that shot. And if you get the cooperation of the model as opposed to getting candids, it's always better.
Yes.
There's a company. They're based in Canada. Most of what they do is vinyl wear, and like they create some beautiful stuff. I got my Harley costume. If you guys have ever seen a photo of me in that, I got it from them. I'm desperately trying to think of their name. I'll post a link. I was actually thinking about like all the things that we're mentioning. I kind of want to, go and post links in the description after the fact. Or maybe put links if I can figure out how to do the little box that shows up right here.
Little addendum points. Yeah.
But they make wings like that that are, I don't know, I think they probably like list them under cyber tech.
Yeah.
A lot of what they make has a very cyberpunk feel to it. There was one more thing that Xerxes said. I've had people come up to me at cons and just say, "Go pose over there," and it's like, you could ask, jackass.
Yeah.
So right. See, it doesn't even only happen to women.
Yeah.
Not that I'm assuming your gender, but I'm pretty sure that we've spoken before, and you're a male type person. But
I know.
Just ask. Just ask. It's polite.
Everybody,
you guys
especially toward the tail end of cons, gets a little tired and a little bit stressed, and that's usually when I'm like pulling out the most polite things I can, because nobody's gotten any sleep. Everybody's running on caffeine, and all you've eaten is junk food. So that's the moment when you're like, "Hi, I really like what you've got on. Is it possible to get a shot? And if so, can I put you right over there?" That's 10 seconds of your time that's going to make a much better shot.
Wasn't
and make a
even
much
10
more thing.
seconds.
Yeah. And it works out and makes things a little bit easier to deal with all the way across the board. What?
Media said that the guy is like, "Go pose over there," instead of asking, "Could I take a picture of you? Could you go pose over there?" Media
Shit!
Jeremy,
Okay, you've at least got to get the foil in the shot
That's
now.
not a foil.
Wait,
Yes,
wait,
an epee.
That is actually it is a foil blade with a saber.
Or what would you call it? At least put it in the shot now so people understand why the fuck I got crazy.
That's what they requested. That's what she texted me. She said, "Make a dramatic entrance with weapons blazing."
Bonus points if you
bonus
show up with weapons.
points. Bonus points for weapons. Oh my god. Whew. What was I saying?
Good morning. We've lost track of everything. If anybody can remember what was going on before we kind of shit our pants.
So, you guys have heard me talk about Puddin' before. That was Puddin'. Puddin' came home from a fight rehearsal. He does fight choreography for theater. Is it Dracula right now? Yeah, Dracula. For a community theater in some town somewhere that is outside of our major metropolitan area. No, it's
No,
not.
it's like a block and a half that way.
Really?
It is?
Yeah.
Who is it for?
Circle theater.
Oh. I completely, I was wrong. So yeah,
Omaha has
he
a
came in here,
surprisingly large number of like
swords
We do.
thrust forward and scared the shit out of us. But good, I didn't even hear the door open. So good on ya.
Yes.
Everyone
stealth
likes
work
the
there.
Cave Johnson portrait, by the way.
Only he worked better.
Well, I turned him off.
Or
Yes.
Xerxes wants to
Picture's
know
possessed.
when do we get to meet your puddin'? Do you want to say hi, or do you want to remain mysterious?
I like to be like the disembodied voice. Like she's. I'm a ghost.
You can be
That's
kind.
all
You
there is to it.
can be kind of like on John Green's video log. He's come to refer to his wife as the Yeti because she does not want to be in
Oh.
any shots at all.
Fair enough.
He's Bigfoot.
Yep.
He's
And I'm
the-
all sweaty from rehearsal too. So.
well, yeah.
But
if
he
we do
does
actually
have a
see you,
very
you'll be properly
impressive
costumed.
Yeah, so
mustache.
I'm coiffed and
ready
and
to go.
and the beard is very appropriately. I maybe it's not quite pointy.
not yet. Not long. Well, it's getting.
It's a little. It's got a small. It's like the head of a bishop piece in chess.
True.
That's
Although-
what his beard
Perfect
looks like.
for
If he
Just-
keeps
sexual relations.
if he keeps going like that, though, I'm thinking that he could really do a good job of looking like Tim Oliphant's character from Deadwood. Oh, I'll send you the picture
Oh,
if
dear.
nothing else.
We'll get back on track.
Yeah, where were we again? What's the name?
Let's love the Nesbit wisdom. Hashtag more Nesbit. We go through all the hashtags later, and like we make chatbot
Mhm.
commands for them, so that we can bring up our favorite hashtags of such and such time, and just like random hashtag go. So that will be a good one. And then what was the other one? My writing is beyond sucks.
Yes. I have
Thank
been
you
there.
for coming in sort
Thank you
of
for
like
making it really more interesting. Really good job, man.
so entertaining. I know a lot of really entertaining people, and I'm very grateful for that. Now just you're teasing us about a fabulous mustache. I am. Now let me cheekily tweak my own imaginary mustache. Because I am the worst villain. I will tease you with the mustache and then not give you the mustache because it belongs to a ghost. It's a ghost mustache. Hashtag ghost mustache. Hashtag ghost mustache.
There we go.
That's hard to say. Hashtag ghost mustache.
There's too many soft consonants, in the second syllable on each word. It all adds up that way.
A quick palate cleanser question
Okay.
to vaguely get us back on track.
Good luck.
And I feel like I asked this to a lot of people.
Mhm.
How do you spell mustache? Assassino!
Next, on Lucha
Assassino!
Underground.
Ah! Protecto Presidente! There's Assassino! Oh my god! I know the
This week
best
on Lucha
people.
Underground.
Good show.
Yeah, I love that show.
I enjoy that show.
One of my favorite YouTubers, a guy by the name of Super Eye Patch Wolf, he described it as a combination of Lucha Libre, telenovela, and Dragon Ball Z fan fiction. And I think he was pretty much right.
That's pretty much spot
I don't
on.
think I ever got past the first.
Someone
match.
said something. They said now I'm teasing about the fabulous mustache, but I want to see Patrick Swayze's sweet stash. Would you
What?
call it Patrick Swayze stash?
Patrick Swayze.
It's more like
I can't even think where Patrick
It's-
Swayze ever has
It's
a
kind,
mustache.
of more Doc Holliday than it is.
I was thinking
Ooh.
Six-Fingered Man.
Oh, yeah.
Count
Count Ruben.
Count Rugen.
Yeah.
That's
Rugen.
that's more the beard than the mustache. Then.
I'm trying to think of
Yes.
another.
How do you spell mustache? Go.
Moustache.
What he said.
You spelled it with a U?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. That is the right way to
We have a
spell it.
winner.
People who only spell it with the U, fuck off with that. No. It's not how you spell mustache. I mean, it is an acceptable spelling, but no.
No.
Spell it with the O. And then the U.
Let's not get into GIF versus GIF. We'll be here all night.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
Yeah.
Although I think I do need to bring back the what was it? GIFs and gay pegs
Yeah.
bit. There was a bit I did for Samurai. And I think it needs to make a comeback.
Well, there was an awful lot of cock in that
Hey,
bit,
it's
too.
Rey Mysterio. It's 'cause he's a ghost. Ah!
Oh, wait. Ray didn't die, did he? Did I miss that?
Did Rey Mysterio die? No. What?
Ray's father died.
No,
Okay,
you
okay, all
want
right.
to make an Eddie
Wait,
Guerrero
se-
type of reference.
No,
there. Oh.
separate comments from separate people.
Oh, I don't know if anyone
Um,
certainly ever had a lucha mask.
Dave.
Yeah.
Getting back on track. Thank you for this.
Best mask ever.
What's something that you're working on now that you would like to tell us about?
I'm in the process of hopefully developing a television series. I've jokingly said that it is my TV show about serial killers, conspiracies, and kinky sex, and I figure that with those three subjects,
That's all pretty accurate.
we've pretty much got a lock on a really big audience at that point.
Question.
I'm just curious if you have read Crooked Little Vein like I recommended you yet.
No, I should. Thank you.
It's very in line with what you're going for.
Cool. Totally up for that. Part of my growing up background is that I lived in a town called Des Plaines, Illinois. Des Plaines, Illinois, and Des Plaines is like.
Oh, Displains.
Yep. That's
I thought
how
it
it's
was.
pronounced.
I thought it was like this Plains. Like,
That's-
okay, Ricky Ricardo.
Yeah, that became the running joke for quite a while. Des Plaines, boss, Des Plaines.
Well, that's a no. Who is that?
To Embassy Island, it was
I couldn't remember his name. I was thinking like, you got some splaining to do.
No. But we moved away from there, and
Hashtag kinky conspiracy sex 2018.
we moved away from there, and then 2 years later, I'm watching the news. I think I was like 9 years old, and they showed this drugstore in Des Plaines that my dad and I went to all the time. I'm like, wow, that's weird. Let's see what this is about. And then I hear something about grabbed his last victim from there, and you're like, huh? Because serial killer was not a big term in 1978. If anything, this
Yeah,
is
no. At that point, like it was only just starting to become like, oh, so this happens more than like once every 100 years,
like there
where
were
someone
actually-
just seeks out people specifically, watches them, and then does horrible things to them.
Yep. So one of the things that I found out years after we moved away from there was that one of the people that hung around our neighborhood fairly regularly was a gentleman by the name of John Wayne Gacy. And this will change your view of the world pretty fucking dramatically when you're a kid. So developed a interest in the psychology of serial killers, although I'm not planning on taking up serial killing as a hobby, just, to let you know.
I was
It's a
gonna
big
say,
commitment.
Yeah, you really got to go
You gotta
all
watch
in on
out
that.
for that because it happens.
One day,
Actually, no,
One day you're-
giving too much away.
you're lounging around the house, petting the cat, and next thing you know, you're wondering, where can I get caustic soda at this hour? Because I got to get rid of some things.
Is there a caustic soda emporium that is open 24 hours, or at the very least is open till midnight? Or like they technically close at 11, but there's still a guy in there, and as long as you ask really, really nicely and look really sad at the door and be like, please, you're like, all right, but only because I've been lazy and haven't counted out the register yet.
Yep.
I've been reorganizing the other sodas that we carry besides caustic soda.
Yeah, I need 100 pounds of caustic soda. No, you don't need to know why.
It's not my business to ask questions, just my business to load up the 100 pounds of soda into your car. How are the wife and children?
Oh.
You don't have any, you say. Oh, well, that's not, suspicious or anything.
How do I manage to, hide all of these bodies? Well, first off, there's nobody else in the house
Anymore.
Made lunch out of... No, anyway. But yeah, that gave me the interest in that. And then Robert Anton Wilson's Illuminatus trilogy gave me a really... I love the psychology of conspiracy theory. How a lot of people will try to find an explanation that gives you a bigger hand controlling everything. And it gives you a sense of how that the world might actually make some sense if you just dive deep enough.
Yeah.
I don't really subscribe to any particular conspiracy theories, but I love sitting down and reading them because it's a fascinating
They're
insight
a lot
to
of
our.
fun.
It's like fascinating
And
sociology and
following
psychology.
all those red pieces of twine around all the various
In fact,
pushpins is very fun.
I'm really looking forward to the writers' room where we'll have both, the index cards of scene ideas, and then we'll have on the other one the wall with all the pictures and the red twine that may or may not have anything to do with the show. We're just going to do it because it's there.
I want to be a part of that. But then I'm going to sneak in and put different colors of twine in there just as secondary notes and be like, by the way, all the OTPs.
All the pictures. Why are there pictures of Julie Andrews in our murder wall? Yeah.
Because of that one time
Yeah.
that she played with Extra Man.
Oh yeah, that's right. That is still one of the weirdest dreams I've ever had.
Oh, that was a dream? That
Yeah.
didn't really happen?
No, it didn't really happen.
Well, now the story has just I
Imploded.
said when he told me this story upstairs in the actual parlor.
I want to point out, I said I
Because
had
I
the
had
weirdest
a
freaking
sound
dream.
of music sheet music on the mantle, And I thought it was a real story where Julie Andrews was just like, oh, ex-Japan, you say? Well,
Alright.
that sounds fascinating. You say it is some sort of
Visual K?
Japanese glam rock, not
Prog
quite
metal.
thrash metal. Oh, sorry, prog metal. Let me do that. I don't do a very good Julie Andrews. I'd have to listen to her for a minute.
But yeah, I had like this absolutely surreal dream of like being in an ex-Japan show, and Julie Andrews gets up to sing the opening of Kurenai, and I was like, didn't expect it, but not bad. Just where did my brain cough up that little hairball?
Part of me is really sad that that is not a true story, but at the same time, interesting dream.
Yoshiki, make it happen.
Do it.
Come on, what's the worst thing that could happen?
She's still around, you're still around, let's make it happen. I'm just gonna catch up on chat real quick. Patrick Swayze is the only famous ghost I can think of. Oh, because you're a ghost. Got it.
He moved on though.
Probably a reference only for us old people. I've seen Ghost. I know who Patrick Swayze is because of that movie.
But I mean, whenever I think Patrick Swayze,
Serial killing.
Roadhouse.
It's more of a profession than a hobby.
Oh, let me show you what I think of Patrick Swayze.
That's like when I had to buy a fake gun, duct tape, and blue medical gloves. Yeah, when you gotta go to the hardware store and pick up a bunch of things, and you're like, please don't think I'm a serial killer. Please don't call the cops. Please don't think I'm a serial killer. Yes, I would like to give you my loyalty card today and a credit card because I have no problem leaving a paper trail.
I'm
not
totally
paying for
doing
this in
anything
cash.
illegal.
It's fine.
There was a friend of mine that.
Here's my ID so that you may check the credit card. I haven't just stolen someone's credit card to cover my tracks.
He has the best Walmart trifecta ever. You play the Walmart trifecta game, walk in at about 1 o'clock in the morning and find the 3 things that will guarantee, oh yeah!
Enjoy that loveliness.
This is Patrick?
Yep.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen this image, and I will try to get it, but it's
It's the
Patrick
scariest
Swayze
tattoo ever.
as a centaur wearing
In his Chippendales costume.
in his Chippendales costume, also with a rainbow in the background. It's fabulous.
But the game is go into Walmart at 1 o'clock in the morning and pick out 3 items that guarantee that the clerk is going to have you stand there for a while they call the cops on you. And a friend of mine started this game entirely by accident one day when he bought at 1 o'clock. He was going on a hunting trip, but his therapist had suggested for his OCD that he take up coloring. And he was going with his wife. All right.
Okay.
So he
All right.
buys a combination of shotgun shells, coloring books, and condoms. And
Yep,
the look, apparently the look on the clerk's face was
That'll do
absolutely
it.
priceless.
that'll do it.
I'm like, that's going to be a tough one to top.
I want to play that game now and film it.
Oh, this needs to happen. Let's get out the GoPros and we'll make it happen.
Is there anything else about the current project that what did media call it, which is now going to be its working name instead of what you're calling it, Kinky Conspiracy Sex 2018?
I'm actually looking forward to sitting. We're going to be shooting what they call proof of concept scenes over about the next month and a half. And what you do is you take scenes from the actual project and then you get some people together, shoot them, and then say, hi, this is what we're doing. Hi, would somebody please take some interest and give us some development money? And
Budget, please.
Yes, because currently our budget is basically enough to be able to buy coffee and Dunkin' Donuts. And the Dunkin' Donuts is not
Dunkin'?
sure.
I was like,
Wow, ritzy.
Wow, yeah.
Ritzy
Good
titsy
stuff.
Dunkin'
That's all,
Donuts.
yeah.
Look, if you're going to spend money on anything, craft services. I'm just
Keep
saying.
your people happy.
Keep your people happy.
And yeah, working with some very good friends of mine at a company called Independent Gorilla who do amazing work, and we're working together to get this whole thing together. And yeah, expect to hear another interview later where I'm sitting around pimping it going, so, this is the thing we're doing. Here's a scene. Anybody got some money? Because, an army...
I would be happy to host that interview.
Yes. An army travels on its stomach and a movie is made on a sea of fucking money.
A literal sea, or at the very least, a large lake.
It lubricates the wheels well, apparently.
Yes. Well, if there's anything else you would like to say about that as we go on, please definitely
I'll think of more
share.
ideas.
Another random palate cleanser question: dice game, deck building game, role playing game, board game, or a game that combines multiple elements. Go.
Role-playing game. I love being in circumstances where we can create thoroughly bizarre and weird stories together with a group of people. It's the inclusion of
Good answer
different
from a writer.
Yeah, different personalities, and sometimes somebody coughs up a mental hairball that makes you go, wow,
Uh-huh.
I hadn't considered that. Yeah. It's like the old variation on the old combat joke about no plan of action survives contact with the enemy, and no storyline survives actual contact with players. They will always come up with a direction that makes you stop and go, all right, didn't see that one coming, but we're going to give it a try.
Count Ghost Patrick Swayze Rugen. Do you have an answer to that random palette question? Dice game, deck building game, role playing game, board game, or a game that combines multiple elements.
I don't know. I kind of lump board games, dice, and deck building all into one category to begin with. That's where my drive has been focused more lately. I do enjoy role-playing games. My issue is I tend to get involved with groups that have one too many people who are too far out on the Fruit Loop end. And so that kind of ruins things for people.
I'm back on my meds, goddammit. We'll be all right.
I'm just saying there's a reason we haven't played Vampire in a decade and a half.
Yeah.
Did I have... No, I think it's still upstairs. I found, when I was going through a bunch of my books and things, I found my official, sanctioned Sailor Moon role-playing game. Like, it's a self-contained, rule book and everything with various characters that you can choose from. And it's from, like, I'm sure 98. And part of me kind of like wants to like go by the book. Don't edit any of the rules or anything. Maybe everyone's like horribly overpowered. Who cares? Let's just do it.
There's
and film it, of course.
There's kind of a whole subculture of World of Darkness fan games, and two of them are ones that I kind of want to put together just because I hadn't expected to see them coming. One of them is called, I think it's Princess the Waiting.
Princess the Waiting.
Which is basically World of Darkness Sailor Moon.
Of course it is.
Hold on, Kat's got a...
Wait, wasn't that essentially Changeling?
That's how...
Yeah, the new Changeling really did make that happen. And then
so World of Darkness plus Magical Girl.
Yep.
Awesome.
And then the other one...
That is like the very definition of creepy cute, you guys.
Yeah.
If that isn't creepy cute, I don't know what is.
And the other one, I think, was Maid the Sweeping,
Mm-hmm.
where, again, it was taking off on the whole anime concept of maids, anime maids, and manic pixie dream girls, and all that kind of stuff. And I just looked at it, and I was laughing so hard I couldn't stand. At the same time, it was also totally playable. So I was like, get the right people together, let's see what kind of madness we can make happen.
Media says, yes, RPGs for the win. Siege is in the room. Hey, Siege, thanks for joining us. You can go back and watch the earlier part of the interview later. We detract a little bit. We're getting back on track. Thank you. I love the shirt too. And Xerxes says, I love board games, but I miss playing D&D. I do too, but it's difficult to find the right group of players to play an extended campaign with. At the last con, I bought the Reanimator board game and the Buffy the board game.
You have our attention, sir.
Yeah. So, where do you live? And we'll bring
Xerxes
pizza.
lives in Canada, so...
Oh, hey,
there you go. Protein and
yeah. Okay, so
we'll
stop by Tim Hortons. I'll get some
We'll put the
poutine.
protein on top of the pizza.
Yep. Now, hopefully they won't be horribly offended when I show up in my Calgary Flames jersey,
Oh, yeah.
but we'll see how it goes.
By the way, Dave was admiring the
Miskatonic School for
yeah,
Girls.
Miskatonic School for Girls. He got me that for Christmas a number of years ago. I still haven't been able to play it. We've been Molly and I tried to read the rules and everything. We got a great photo shoot out of it. Molly and me,
There's cards
secretly
everywhere.
murdering each other, dressed like gothic Miskatonic school children. But someday I think we should actually play it for realsies. I think Bruce is in? Hey, Advanced! Yes, it's you, not someone else! Siege! Hello, Bruce! Hello, everybody!
G'day, Bruce. I don't know if I call you Bruce just to avoid the confusion.
Absolutely, good eye.
Yeah.
Kat, I had a Slayers campaign that used a modified D20 modern rule set a few years ago. I'm not familiar with Slayers.
It's a late 80s, early 90s anime.
Okay.
Very, very fantasy based. Really cool, actually.
Neat.
Huh.
Need
I
more
might have a different one,
RPGs
but-
in my life.
Yeah.
We all do. We
If I'm
all.
wrong, I'm wrong, and that would be
No.
far from a first.
Slayers as in Buffy?
No. Oh, if it is Buffy
I mean,
the Vampire Slayer,
It
that'd
was
be cool.
him who said it, so.
Yeah.
I just went on a murder mystery dinner this past weekend.
Oh, I love those.
See, that is that I don't know. Would we classify that as RPG or would we classify that as interactive theater? I suppose it's how deep you get into it and how much
My only,
participation you allow the audience.
my only experience with it was that it was really the first time I ever LARPed, and I think this was like 1989.
Ah, LARPing.
So everybody was involved and were actually characters in there and had objectives, which I thought was awesome.
You know what's horrible about murder mystery theater? Is when you have it thrust upon you and you weren't expecting it. We went to see a showing of Clue one day. It was one of those interactive showings. It was great. We were all excited for it. But then before the movie, this group of people got up and started doing this weird interactive murder mystery that they didn't tell anyone they were going to do.
No!
And it was just
We came
so
to see the
forced, and it
movie.
was just like, oh, good lord, it was painful.
It's kind of like when you have a live cast of Rocky Horror. I'd like to know that the live cast was going to happen.
Just you got to know these things.
Well, I always expect that.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it was the Buffy game, not the anime
Okay,
one.
thank you.
But no spoilers. All right, cool. Next question.
Yes.
Tell us why X Japan is mind-breakingly, tear-inducingly, vapors-givenly amazing.
Well, we probably have a couple of different reasons between us for this. Although I will admit that, Yoshiki is remarkably easy on the eyes, and I would love to do a shoot.
Yoshiki is the lead singer, right?
No, Yoshiki.
No,
is,
Yoshiki's the drummer.
Yeah, they're a band that are actually structured in a really interesting way because most of the songwriting is done by the drummer, who is also a piano player. But
He's just so just crazy multi-talented.
look up if you really want to have a great kind of break all of your woman friends moment. Look up.
I don't think it's just the women.
Type the following into Google image search: Yoshiki and Bucktick, and it's a shoot of Yoshiki and the lead singer.
Tick. Don't get that
Tick.
backwards or get something different.
Yeah, it's not going to go well. Bucktick was another band that kind of got started maybe a little bit before X Japan or kind of concurrently in the visual casing.
Yeah.
So it's the lead singer of Bucktick who's dressed in this kind of Hugo Boss, could be kind of Nazi-esque outfit. And then Yoshiki...
Nazis may have been terrible people, but their uniforms were on point.
Yeah, they knew how to dress. I'm just saying. They made evil look good. I'm not saying... I'm standing up for
Don't
them.
agree. Don't agree.
But
tailored military wear is just drooly, drool-worthy.
And
It's hard to say.
Yep, and there's Yoshiki on a couch, kind of reclining oh, I've always depended on the kindness of strangers. And every time I show this to some of my friends, I just kind of watch puddles form in the room from all of that. But
One moment, I shall fetch a mop and the bucket.
Yes.
Do you all wish to be in the same bucket, or would you like individual buckets?
But X Japan, for me, I love it from a musical standpoint because they always took the rules of what we consider, the stuff that we were used to in heavy metal in America, and went, we're going to mash this together and mash this together. We're going to do a 29-minute long single with a 6-minute mini piano concerto in the middle of it.
Yes!
But also, X Japan comes with a story that is just intensely insane. No other band would have survived the shit that they've been through. 2 members died under really unusual circumstances. The band broke up for a decade because the lead singer joined a cult.
It happens.
The drummer plays with a neck brace, which is not a joke because during a show he was playing and all of a sudden he stops playing the bass drums and then just stops playing altogether. And the rest of the band's looking at him like, what's going on? And he's like, I can't move my legs. He had been so into it and for years and headbanging so hard. Broke his neck on fucking stage and had a piece of one of his discs was pressing up against his spinal cord and making it difficult, almost impossible to move his legs.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some of the other weird shit. Oh, my favorite one ever is Yoshiki getting asked, he was thinking about quitting the music business after Hide died and Toshi left the band. He was like, I'm going to go into fashion. And he was walking out of some sort of therapy meeting and he gets a phone call. He's like, okay, take the call. Hi, this is Emperor Akihido's office.
Hi.
And we're celebrating the 10th anniversary of the Emperor's Ascension. We wanted to know if you would like to write a classical piece for it. Now, if you're talking about the word of God in Japan, quite literally, they view the emperor as an honest-to-God deity. So that was basically like the forces that be saying, yeah, you can do the fashion thing, but music is totally your thing. So you get this incredible story of a band that, if this was The Who, or Led Zeppelin,
Yeah.
or Guns N' Roses, that band would have broken up, and never spoken to each other again.
Yeah.
But there's something about the weird little magic of this band that I love. And they're a great entry point into Japanese music and Japanese rock.
Mm-hmm.
I learned about SUGIZO, who's their new guitar player, who's also a violin player, and he does everything from instrumental music to 70s style soul music to flat out like industrial heavy metal music. And he has a huge collection, and every one of his albums I bought, I went, every one of them is well worth the money.
Yes.
And then I
Yes.
also learned about MIYAVI
Yes.
by way of ex-Japan, because MIYAVI had been one of the people that auditioned to take Hide's spot. And if you've not heard MIYAVI, after you're done,
We'll put in links.
we'll put in links. There's a song of his, of course now I won't be able to come up with it. Look up MIYAVI, What's My Name? And you will be floored at how good this guy is. He's kind of like, my best description is he's Les Claypool on an acoustic guitar.
I'm trying to imagine that now.
Yeah, he's just...
I'll just go look at the video.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. So yeah, they're a great entry point. There's a documentary on them called We Are X, and I think it's up on Hulu right now. And I think you can also rent it on YouTube. But yeah, it's totally worth your time to watch it.
And worth the probably like $3 to $5 it is to rent it on YouTube.
Yep.
Last question. Is there anything you'd like to plug before we sign off?
Yes, I have a novel.
This
I
may
know
have been
what's
planned.
Definitely, Tilda Swinton.
You want to plug Tilda Swinton?
I would totally plug Tilda Swinton.
So would I.
Yeah.
This
I
whole
said the
this
triple
whole-
teamer with her
this
permission,
whole
of
thing
course.
is
but-
basically just
she'd
a
be into
series
that.
of
Yeah,
outlets.
no, she likes that kind of thing.
Yeah.
No, she is, and I love it. Just random side fact: Tilda Swinton is just like, she definitely has the polyamory thing
Yeah.
going on, but like doesn't talk about it with anyone.
Yeah.
And she doesn't need to. It's nobody's business but hers.
It's her.
And
It's her. It's
that's
her
kind
family,
of
and I
awesome.
don't. I find the idea that that's the relationship she has interesting, but you know what? I don't need the details on it. Move on, live your
Not
life,
important.
and she's doing great work and having a great time doing it.
I'm gonna see if there was. I think I'm all caught up on chat. Yes.
Okay.
So do you have the
Yes.
thing?
Yes.
Unplug so that we do not kink.
Yes.
And then I'm going to up the brightness
Yep.
so that we can see. All right. And the name of the book is Evolution.
Evolution.
All right.
You can
So-
find it on Amazon.
I will link it in the description. I know this is backwards, but this is what we deal with live YouTube videos. The name of the book is Evolution. It's by Dave Nesbit, or David Nesbit, I believe is how.
I think it's listed as Dave on Amazon, but don't quote me on it.
Either
I'll
way,
check it.
Nesbit is not a super common name,
Yeah.
so you'll find it. And of course, I will post a link in the description below.
And I jokingly call it my superhero story for people who don't like superheroes.
There are a lot of people who are tired of superheroes right
Yep.
now, so that might be a good thing.
I figured I'd start with a character who gets superpowers without having a tragic fucking backstory.
Not everyone needs one.
Yeah.
I've been thinking a lot lately about the, oh no, someone has killed the love of my life, and now I must go on a journey that may or may not include revenge, but definitely includes me exploring my superpowers or, special non-superhuman talents.
Okay.
Like, why does that always... I mean, yes, I'm sure it happens in real life occasionally,
Mhm.
where, someone really close to you dies, and then that kicks off another chapter of your life where you discover something amazing about yourself, and you have all these amazing adventures because of it. But how often does it really happen, and are there other stories to tell? I don't want to say that, like, we don't need any more of it, but I'm...
I had this
Not
idea,
convinced.
just coughed up an idea of kind of goofing with that idea, or that concept. I'm using idea a lot, but that's what you did.
I'll have the thesaurus ready next time.
Yeah, that'd be great. But just thinking of a story that we could tell as like a film or series at some point of, all right, so it's going to be a modern fantasy thing, but all of a sudden Dave has a hankering for Tim Hortons donuts. We have to go from Omaha up to Alberta. And along the way, there will be adventures and weird things happening. And,
I like the sound of that.
And then we get our donuts.
Also
I
donuts.
think House on the Rock is on the line.
We need to go to
that's
House
totally-
on the Rock.
I've been there. It's awesome.
I hear it's a
Absolutely
thing.
amazing.
Shit, I had so much tragedy in my life, and I'm still waiting for my superpower. Media's like this.
Bruce Wayne just said, "Hold my beer, man."
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has no superpowers. Money.
Well, no, he has one superpower.
Money isn't a superpower.
When you have that much money,
Money
it is.
is.
I mean, I guess I can buy superpowers.
So Tony Stark did.
It's what we used to jokingly
True,
refer to
that
in the
is
camp
true.
as Green Dominate. Walk up, I've got a whole bunch of money. Give me all that. And you're pretty much good to go.
Oh my god, it's like I can't stop myself. You're amazing and magical and possibly superhuman. I get there's all the money now.
So yeah, when we sell the TV show as a downtime thing, we'll have to put together the modern fantasy of our trip to go get Tim Hortons. And then have all sorts of strange random things happen. At some point in time we'll have to show up and there'll be like the Bud Light fairies outside of the rest area somewhere in the middle of South Dakota. Arrive at Tim Hortons, there'll be like a dragon going, hey,
Brilliant.
hold on.
Circus, I don't know if you're still in the room or not, but do you know, what is it, Tim Hortons?
Yes.
Tim Hortons Donuts?
So.
Any final thoughts that you would like to share with live viewers and viewers beyond today?
Thank you very much for putting up with me abusing one word after another. Thank you for doing an interview with me.
Thank you for being part of the new video series.
Yep. And thanks for putting up with my obsession with J-Rock and X Japan as well.
It's hard and it takes a lot out of me, but I suffer through it. I love X Japan.
She's
Really awesome.
I just kind of sit there and I put up one and all of a sudden the next thing you know,
I just
there's
go,
Kat going and like a little corner of drool out of her
Blah.
mouth and
And it's just music-wise, visually, there's so much going on there, but it's not too much. It's just kind of like if, waves were coming off of the television, my hair would be going.
It's kind of the best way I have to describe it is if you took a progressive metal band and incorporated Kiss and Prince's stage show into it.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah. And consistently, I'm still yet to see them properly live, but I'm really looking forward to the opportunity to do it. But every time I see concert footage, I'm just sitting there like goggle-eyed for the sheer amount of like production they put into a show.
Count Ghost Patrick Swayze Rugen. One of these days I will get that right, or perhaps if you pop in again, you will get a new pseudonym. Do you have any final thoughts?
No,
No. None at all?
not a one.
He's gone totally zen.
Not
His
one.
mind is a complete
Not
blank.
one.
The
Well,
guards
that's
in there.
it's
Sand
it's a
trailers
side
back
effect
and forth.
of the mask. It really zens you out.
Yeah.
My final thoughts are also thank yous. Thank you for being a part of this video for me. I'm sure that I will have you back again with a new and fascinating episode title. What did we pick for today? I don't even. And the Circus of Confusion.
Yes, I
Dave
think that was it.
Nesbit and the Circus of Confusion. We'll have another fabulous episode title when you come back.
Dave Nesbit, the bottle of scotch, and who the fuck took my legs?
Are we doing the Scotch episode?
Yeah, I think that'll work.
I got some upstairs.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, this is supposed to, like, from here forward, we're supposed to be enjoying fermented plant waters of various types
Okay.
while we are doing the interview.
Not fermented animal waters.
No.
That
No,
would be,
plant,
too
fermented
weird.
plant
Not really
waters.
my thing.
No.
I mean, I'm not knocking
Well,
if
I
it's,
think-
if it's somebody's taste.
I think
I'm
the
just saying.
closest thing to that is maybe lutefisk.
Yeah.
Is that technically fermented?
Yes. The other one is there's a really, really horrible dish in Iceland that almost caused Anthony Bourdain to puke.
Who's the luchador? It's Patrick Swayze. No. It's
At the time of my life.
And he wins an everything forever.
On that note, I suppose we'll all go have a scotch now. Everybody who was able to pop in tonight, thank you so very much for being a part of live media. Not LN media, but live media produced by me, the Mad Hat Cat. And thank you to my scheduled guest, Dave Nesbit, and my unscheduled guest, Count Ghost Patrick Swayze Rugen Luchadore. Extraordinary.
L.
Luchadore, sorry, comma, L.
Or La. Hard to say.
Yeah.
Media, I love this chat too. You guys are fantastic, and I hope you all have a really good night. I'll be doing my September vlog, still, again, working on trying to fix OBS, and it's being a little bit of a POC. Or no, not POC. That's a different thing.
Yeah, that's not what you wanted to say at all. That's
not what I meant.
shit, you cannot put this on the internet now.
Click the edit button.
Well, no,
You're gonna
POC
get
could work
burned.
too.
Point of contact.
I was gonna say piece of crap.
Yeah.
It could also it works.
All right. Yeah, that's...
It works for being PG-13 or PG because I think you can say crap in PG content,
But if
you can't say shit.
But if you take it up to POS, you have just escalated up into R.
Exactly. I don't know why that's different. Maybe it's just because of the plosives in it.
Could be.
And shit just sounds so much harsher than crap. Maybe I'll do an episode about that. Why are some words considered worse than other words?
I've actually done that as a stage bit, and actually one of the things I discovered is it became a joke about PG-13 that you can give two shits, but you only get one fuck.
Hashtag GIFs and gay pegs 2018.
All the cock.
Everybody, have a good night. We're signing off. Gonna go have scotch.
Yay.
Scotchy, scotch. Are we gonna have the smoky scotch? I want the smoky scotch. Oh my god, I can't find the button. Give me the button. Ah!
You're going to be in watching us as we're doing the Scotch thing.